My dad invented Subbuteo, the football game, back in 1947. People not only know the word Subbuteo, but they actually know of my father. People mention Peter Adolph, and they go, "Oh yes, see, they know him as the gentleman who devised Subbuteo." Of course, a question I'm always being asked is, where does the name Subbuteo come from? Because it's quite an unusual name. My father was a very keen ornithologist, so he actually wanted to call the game the hobby. But he came across problems with patenting, because apparently it was too generic, so he, being an ornithologist, he decided to call it the Latin name for the hobby hawk, which is a small falcon, and the Latin name for that is Falco Subbuteo Subbuteo. If ever I wanted a team or a new accessory, all I had to do was say to my dad, "You know, I need so-and-so team, could I have it?" Sometimes I used to have to work for it by doing odd jobs up in the factory in Langton Green. So really, obviously, I never had to dig into my pocket to sort of save up my pocket money to get a team. It was always on tap. As a youngster, I used to play 7 days a week with a friend of mine. But unfortunately, I don't play as much now as I used to. When my father died in '94, it was a nice touch that John Waddington's, who my father sold Subbuteo to in 1970, they actually sent along a 3-foot high wreath in flowers in the shape of a Subbuteo man. They bought Subbuteo in 1970 for £250,000, which doesn't sound a lot of money now. The money that Waddington's offered, he reluctantly had to take the money and run, basically, which is a shame, because he always said to me that there's always a job for me at Subbuteo. So of course that never transpired, but I'm not bitter.